Paco Podcast. Midnight Paco. Midnight Paco Podcast. Midnight Paco Podcast.
Yeah, trucker, blast the trucker. Hey, life. Is also Puerto Rican. Ladies and gentlemen, Cool Steve Gunman.
To me, he's got a good. I know he's not an actual person,
Right.
but I like his mindset, man.
You know what?
And I like the burning of the money thing. Too.
I just thought of this conversation. We should start a bad guy school.
A bad guy school?
Yeah, because look, all the bad guys they do bad guy stuff. They got bad guys gadgets and cool stuff.
Yeah.
Where did they learn to do that stuff? From bad guy school.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We should start.
They doing that
It's a
shit in
different
their
take.
fucking basements because they know they do this shit in public. Somebody call the cops on them.
Well, not a bad guy.
Listen up.
Not that kind of bad guy.
You can make ninja stars with the top of soup cans.
Okay,
I used to do it.
I don't like weapons.
Those are sharp. They cut you. I fucking cut my shit on those.
Shrinkings.
before. Yeah, they bleed. You
Make
don't
you
have
some-
weapons?
No.
I
got
can make
Hell
you.
no.
I got an AR-15.
Oh shit! Well, no. I mean, there's nothing wrong with
You
you.
can make some nunchucks with a rope and a broken broom handle.
Yes,
Oh, I got nunchucks. I just remembered.
But
I
you
just-
probably bought them.
They're the soft ones. Yeah, I went to Chinatown. I got them. They're
like-
really cheap, like
You
$10.
said soft ones?
Yeah, they're soft ones, so,
So you
you
can
hit
practice?
yourself with them.
Like-
Yeah,
Okay. That's like the homie
they
the
look
clown
cool.
sock.
Why don't you just do it with a towel?
I should get on stage with them. I'm sorry, I was thinking.
Yeah, you should have
get on
one
stage
of
with
them.
nunchucks.
Like this is for all y'all professional open minded.
I've been practicing.
Yeah.
So, if they did a concert, who would you open up for? Like, what style is yours that will fit the bill? You understand the question? Making sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, it's crazy because I got so much versatility that I could rock with all of them, man.
Okay.
I could rock with all of them. I think that I could get out with each one of them artists. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because my style's so, you know what I mean, versatile.
Okay. That's what's up.
Hey, you want to get in the water?
Man, I would love a water, man.
I got you.
Yeah, go ahead,
Like
go ahead and bounce and get, thanks.
man.
I see him licking his lips,
That ain't
people,
nothing.
boy.
I ain't got no
Boy, he's
spit in
over
here, man.
I see him over here dying, boy.
Yeah,
I'm like,
man.
man, I'm over here sipping, boy. I know what happens. Driving out, man. I come prepared. We're trying to get some shit where we got some Midnight Paco fucking label ones, so you got some legit ass shit, but we budget
Hey, man.
working
Hey.
on that shit.
Hey, man. Y'all
I
got
apologize
something,
for
man.
not offering it to you.
No,
bro.
man.
Damn,
appreciate
look at that!
y'all,
But
man.
we come correct, people.
Yeah, they
when
got
I
me
see
together.
when I see the guest in need, it comes. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you going.
Oh, no problem.
I was gonna get up, but I didn't want to
I
mess up
needed
the
that.
background.
No.
You're closer.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Spot,
I was talking crap like, yeah, we got girls, chicken, and stuff again.
Yeah, we had all that shit ready,
I was like, we got chicken, girls.
but he
and shit.
locked it in the goddamn bathroom.
Hell no.
Yeah.
It's dumb, boy. This almost didn't happen, people. You don't even know what went on behind the scenes. You don't keep it personal. But just so you know, God is good.
And I've always been impressed with people that do voices. And some of my favorites are Peter Cullen. That's the guy that did Optimus Prime. Mel Blanc, the guy that, from Looney Tunes, of course. And Tim Conway, he's from here too. And Dawes Butler, I just love his voice. Did you have any experience working with those guys? Oh, and now I'm happy to know that I'm speaking to you, and you're on that list too, by the way, because I'm blown away by people that do impressions and do them well, and and I'm honored to meet you.
Thank you.
Have you ever worked with any of those people? They're I know they're probably older, but have you ever?
No, unfortunately, they're older. But growing up as a kid, Mel Blanc was my guy.
Okay.
And
I imitated a lot of stuff.
you can see I'm wearing a Bugs Bunny shirt right now.
Absolutely.
Look, I keep it real.
What's up, Jack?
I got the Star Wars right here for you. On the map.
Oh, that's a great shirt. That is an excellent shirt. I love that.
Just thinking about Mr. Blanc, the way he did voices, like Bugs Bunny, he sounded like he had like a Brooklyn accent. For him to go to like Bugs Bunny and then do Froghorn Leghorn, that was very impressive. I wanted to, if I could talk to him, I wanted to know like where you get these from, because sometimes your voices, even the ones you create, they come from somebody. You're imitating somebody. So I'm just curious, like where would he get some of those voices? Where do you get some of your voices from your character?
Well, usually when you're auditioning for a voice, what you do is you look at the character, I should say, and that will give you clues. You know, whether they're a big person or they're small, and then you try and find a note, and then you add some texture to your voice, and then eventually you come up with something. Or sometimes the company will, or the studio will come up with a suggestion, and they'll say, okay, for example, the first show I worked on was Hello Kitty Fairy Tale Theater.
Okay.
And there was this dog they wanted a voice for. His name was Grinder. And the reference that they gave me was Fred Gwynn, who was Herman Munster and Car 54.
Oh,
He was
right.
that character on Car 54. So, and he when he got excited, he would go, oh. So I kind of dumbed it up a little bit, and I put in there, yeah. So his name was Grinder, and he got really excited. He was happy, and hi everybody, hi Kitty. So that was the first voice
awesome,
that I
man.
worked on, yeah. Hello Kitty, and then after a year, they came up to me, and the director said to me, "How would you like to direct?" I go, "What?" They said, "Well, you've got a feel for this. I mean, you studied this, and you know how storyboards work and that. I think you'd be really good at this," because they were tired of sending up people. You know, it costs a lot of money to send somebody up every week from Los Angeles up to Toronto. So I got to direct cartoon shows as well, and I worked on Cops. I directed Super Mario Brothers, Super Show, and just the animated portions.
Okay.
Yeah, Legend of Zelda. A
Oh, wow.
A lot of the video game stuff that was out in the 80s, late 80s and early 90s.
Okay.
Those are the best times growing up, right
Yeah,
there.
It
It's really my
really
childhood.
And then the government stuck their damn nose in and closed everything down. So
Oh,
then
that
you couldn't advertise to kids, and
Oh.
all of those restrictions that came in literally killed Saturday morning. But
Really?
it was what a great time. But fortunately, we have whole networks that are dedicated to animation now,
Yeah.
and animation is really making a comeback.
Right.
So it's really
Yeah.
an exciting.
It's like when you ready, you can't wait until you find the Mrs. Right to control your life. You know what I'm saying? To put the ball and chain on you. Like, Cordell, where you going? Where you going, Cordell the Great? You ain't going nowhere without me. Who gonna be on a podcast tonight? Who gonna be up there with Paco and them? Who gonna be up there with them? I heard Raw was in there the other time.
Shit.
You know you better hurry up. I gotta see this. You know what I mean? So when you get to that point, you're gonna be like, I love her. She crazy. You know what I'm saying? Cause y'all men love crazy women. I think what's gonna do it for him, she gonna have to bust a window and stab a tire, not both tires, maybe just
You don't
one.
want that problems. You don't want them
But
problems.
they'd be in love.
He'll be in love then, probably.
No?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
What type of woman you looking for?
Ooh. Questions. All right. Yeah, let's
Yeah, we gotta figure this out. What type of woman he want?
tell us.
No ashy feet. You gotta have real hair, bitch. I don't like fake hair touching me. Like, watch this. Look at her. You better not come out here with no ashy feet.
That's hilarious.
Look, bitch, I want to see your house shoes. Let me see my house shoes. Why you got old ass house shoes? You got crack flakes in there.
Oh, you want to judge like
Okay,
a mom,
okay,
boy.
okay.
You see, I came out the house in sweatpants.
Cut it out.
Okay.
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 Yeah, he didn't even answer. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
You pretty much summed it up.
Okay, here, for real. For real. Okay, for real this time. So, what is you looking for?
Waiting on it.
Right, he don't know yet.
Yeah,
he'll find it. He'll know when he find it.
Right, see.
Right. You just can't have ashy feet and fake hair. You know what I'm saying?
Or get nauseous.
Right. You have to know how to suck dick. I'm telling you, because sucking dick is part of the package, right?
No gag reflex.
No, the kids gotta be grown, right?
So, who are some of your comedic influences? Rest in power, Charlie Murphy. I was at the show when he got booed off stage.
Oh, wow.
He was here?
He came here and when he got booed off stage, it was here in Cleveland.
Wow.
It was Mike Epps, Charlie Murphy, and what's my girl's name? I think her name's Shantae or something like that.
Shantae.
Not Shantae. What's her name?
Some more?
No, she's very funny.
Some more funny.
No. I was some more is funny. But she was like I can't think of her name right now, but at the time she was a heavyset woman and very funny. And I wanted for Charlie Murphy to finish because he said I already got paid. Wait a minute, let me see if I can think of Charlie Murphy. He was like, shit, look, I already got paid, so you gonna do my shit, or that's what he said.
Well, I mean, but he wasn't funny.
Okay. So on the
I can't see him not being funny.
On the Chappelle show, he told stories.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
Well,
it was storytelling.
Yeah.
So he's still the same way, I would imagine.
He was the same way.
Yeah.
When he passed, but I'm just saying, like on stage, he was doing the same thing, and Cleveland wasn't having it. We talking about this is the city that threw bottles and shit at Tupac and Bells. Okay.
Jesus.
All right. I saw a video when Ludacris.
They did not boo. They didn't boo Luda.
They were throwing everything at that. They were throwing fantasy. Cleveland is rough.
Oh my God.
He was like lick. Yo, fantasy. Shout out to Ludacris. I like Ludacris.
That's my dog, man.
I love Luda.
Yeah, but yeah.
Probably, he's a part of my top 5 rappers.
Okay, I can dig that. I respect that, but Cleveland is rough, man. Cleveland is rough when it comes to the performers.
Wow.
And so it's like everybody knows that Cleveland be like, I'm coming to the club, you better make me laugh. And if I do laugh, I'm going to be done in a minute. And I want something else.
Be done in a minute.
Yeah, make me laugh. I paid for a comedy show. What else you got?
Yeah, that's so funny.
That's how we are, man.
I was driving a sweeper truck and I started watching, podcasts, and I always wanted to do comedy, and never knew how to get into it, and I started looking up tips on comedy, and yours popped up. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, it's dope. So I started watching you. You like I said, he's done many interviews, a lot of good people too. You got a fire list of interviews on there.
We do what it do, Exactly.
So you're based out of Atlanta, right?
Yeah, I'm based out of Atlanta. Yeah. And that's the thing I think I've learned from doing so many interviews, and like with some of the names I've gotten, is that I've learned that comics like helping comics. At the end of the day, we're like, in our world, it's a big world in our heads, but most people haven't heard of Mark Normand or whatever, when you get outside of comedy. So within comedy, there is a camaraderie here that I think me doing the podcast has really exposed and shown that, like, no matter how famous someone gets, that they're still willing to help out. And you just never know how far asking will go. So even for your podcast, it's like, you just never know asking who's going to say yes or not.
Definitely. And like I said, appreciate it, because you were one of the people that got me, like I said, the information I was looking for. You know what I mean? And that's
Thank you.
That's what I'm hoping. And I watched I think it was the last one. I forget the name of the guest, but you were kind of down on yourself as far as where your podcast is going.
Oh, yeah. I'm like anyone else, like, I want to be rich and famous. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not immune to those feelings, and having to remind myself of gratitude and thinking about where I am and thinking about what I have instead of like what I don't have. I've had to battle that my whole career, from why did they book that gig, or how did they get on that flyer? Why doesn't the comedy club book me on the weekends? You know, it's like I've always had to battle that mindset of like, why not more? Why not more? And you know, I've been doing it 12 years. So even me, that interview you're talking about, the thing about, I've done the podcast for like 5 years. So there are several documented examples of me talking to certain people. And like, I interviewed a club owner, and like the first question I asked is, why don't you book me more? Like, you know, I've done so.
You just went right in, huh? We're like, so why don't you book me, Mom?
I mean, you know, you got to go for it sometimes, but I can sometimes get down on myself like anyone can. But I think the community around the podcast and meeting comics like y'all and realizing, yeah, I mean, you're not Joe Rogan. Why would you want to be Joe Rogan? It's like, you have a dope podcast with like a lot of dope listeners. And the whole goal of the podcast is to be a supportive and positive environment for comedians. And it is that. And I need to remember that. And speaking to comics like y'all who are like, no, what you're doing is helping. And I can say these intentions all the time if I want this podcast to help up and coming comedians and aspiring comedians. But I'll still fall back into that. Like, but you know, why am I not in a Kevin Hart movie? You know, where's mine? You know, so it's just constant gratitude is what I have to keep reminding myself. And on that day, I think the Hot Breathiverse caught me slipping a little bit there, Justin. So I appreciate you calling me out on it.
No, I just want you, yeah, like you said, is just remember that what you're doing is solid. And I even told my buddy Cordell, I was like, you know, because he's always one like, nah, we got to keep that quiet. And I'm like, man, the goal is to share information. And you say that all the time. It's all about how you do it, you know, about the sauce, right? The sauce.
Yeah, it's the sauce, different chefs. And you got to realize that most people aren't going to do the work. So I've only had a few comics like maybe that like held back or were kind of like, oh, I don't want to get into that, like give away everything. But it's like, most people aren't going to do the work. It's like, you can tell them, you can give them the map, but you know, they still have to hit the trails. Like they still have to go do the work. So the more information, the better. But you know, only a few people are actually going to execute and do the work. And that's fine. You know, if you want to listen to the podcast just to learn how the sauce is made and really just get that insight into the comedy process of your favorite comics, go for it. Like, comedy is definitely, you know, I say it's a dream job if you hate money. You know, I mean, it is really a grind, and it requires a lot of commitment and sacrifice that I totally am empathetic to people who aspire, but it just doesn't quite work out or fit their schedule or their current lifestyle. Like it's comedy is no joke, man. It is a grind. And I'm just hoping the podcast gives people that perspective and reality check, but also the tools to succeed at that grind if they're willing to put in the work.
Midnight Paco. Midnight Paco Podcast. Midnight Paco. Midnight Paco Podcast. Midnight Paco. Midnight Paco Podcast.